you're watching this on the rewatch. Thanks for hanging out with me. I got booked for a show, for a talent show. It's a very untraditional, kooky, fun San Francisco show that some friends of mine put on called The Talent Show. And they want like unusual talents. A lot of us are drag performers, and you know, they'll take drag, but they don't want just average drag. They want, like, if you're doing drag, you have to be doing drag and something else. And so what I'm gonna do, I submitted myself as doing cake artistry. And what I'm gonna do is decorate a cake on stage while I lip sync to a Sabrina Carpenter song. And then at the end of my number, I'm gonna offer the cake to the judges, and then maybe do a little something extra special as like a little gag with the cake. And so, oh, let me get my drawing. So, the show that I got booked for is at the end of November, and it'll be right around the time that the new Wicked movie is coming out. So I decided that I'm gonna do a Wicked inspired cake for my talent. And so I have basically a month to prepare. So I wanna make the cake. I wanna do a practice round, obviously. I'm not gonna wait till next month to make this cake. Hi, Fabian. So I sat down and I thought about the recipe and went back and forth and just thought it all out. And so the plan is, today is part one, and what I'm going to be doing is making, I feel like the Great British Bake Off when they do the little diagram. And so I sat down and drew this out. And so it's basically going to be a Wicked themed cake. It's going to be pistachio and raspberry. But again, I'll be doing a Sabrina Carpenter number as my lip sync. And so it'll be a layer of raspberry cake, a layer of pistachio cake, a layer of raspberry cake, a layer of pistachio cake. So we'll basically, I'm going to order heart-shaped pans, but for now, for the practice round, we'll just make them in circle pans just to get the cake flavor and everything kind of going. And then in between, it's going to be like swirl layers. And so like the outside will be the white chocolate ganache, and there'll be a raspberry white chocolate ganache and a pistachio white chocolate ganache. But then also there'll be kind of like ribbons. And so we'll also have the raspberry puree, kind of like gel that was used in the cake that I'm going to make also from scratch, and the pistachio cream that was used in the cake that I'm also going to make from scratch. So for today, because I had to order some of the ingredients that we need for this cake, they don't get here till tomorrow. But because of my neurospiciness, and this is quite an involved cake, we're going to do it in pieces. And that's another thing that I'm trying to do, is just kind of like get the pacing down of when I do this cake next month, how can I spread out the work, you know, throughout the week so that I don't get overwhelmed. And that's the great thing about cakes, is that you can spread it out over a few days. So today, the plan is to make our pistachio cream, because we're going to make pistachio cream from scratch. And then maybe what I can do is measure out and hi. And then I think maybe the other thing that I can do is measure out and put into containers all of the dry ingredients for tomorrow. And that way, when the raspberries come in the grocery order, hello, thank you, Thomas. When the groceries come tomorrow, I'm waiting for, do I have any raspberries frozen? I have peaches and I have passion fruit. Oh, we also don't have the white chocolate. because I ordered, okay, so I've been doing so much research on baking. Thank you, thank you. I've been doing so much research on baking, and there's this lady that bakes on Instagram who has an app called Love Manuela. So I've been reading through her app and reading through her recipes and taking a lot of her instructions and her ideas. And so one of her recommendations or big notes that she had is white chocolate ganache, that a lot of people make their white chocolate ganache with baking chips, which is like what most recipes prompt you to do. But, oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. But Manuela in her app, she recommends that we use for a ganache that you get a high fat content white chocolate melting chips. So I special ordered those from Whole Foods. So those will get here tomorrow. The high fat white chocolate melting chips so that we can do the ganache. The fresh raspberries will also come tomorrow for our raspberry puree that we're going to make from scratch. And her sponge cake recipe calls for a very high in fat warmed heavy cream to be added into the cake batter as part of the process. And so I also ordered the heavy cream. So all of that will get here in the groceries tomorrow. So the plan for tomorrow is going to be to make the raspberry puree and then make the cakes. And then I think Wednesday we can make, actually, you know what? Tomorrow we'll probably make the raspberry puree and we'll also make the ganache because the ganache needs to sit in the fridge. And then depending on how much energy I have, we can try to make the cakes also tomorrow because all of that needs to sit in the fridge overnight before we try to assemble it. And then I think Wednesday would be a good fun target to try our assembly of our cake. So yeah, so I think the plan for today is we're gonna make our pistachio. Hi Nancy. So the plan for today is that we're gonna make our sweet pistachio cream from scratch so that that's done. And then we'll weigh out all of our dry ingredients for the cake, and then that'll be our hangout for today. That's the plan for today. So yeah, let's do that. So, but this is this by the end of the week, I should hopefully have a cake that looks like this. I'm so excited. This is like the most planning I've done. And this is a loose interpretation, what like the top will look like. I'm debating if I want to, I've also found technique where they take like 2 colors of frosting and like they put them together into the bag so that you get like a swirl. So after I drew out the design and I colored it in, I realized that more than likely the top is going to be piped with a swirled both pink and green meshed together, if I can pull it off. So that's everything that we're trying this week. We're doing lots of experimentation, lots of trying things out. I have big ideas for this. But yeah, if it comes together, the idea will be that I'll be on stage at the talent show, decorating this cake, lip syncing to Sabrina Carpenter, and hopefully impressing the judges. And then hopefully I'll make it to the next round. I'm also a part of another contest, but I'm doing pretty good. I'm in first right now for my category, and I think there's like 6 different voting rounds. So I'll let you guys know when I make it to the next round so you can help me win that too. But right now I'm in a Fab Over 40 contest, and I'm currently number 1 in my category, so wish me luck. But for now, let's focus on our pistachio cream. So we're going to take... let's see, what is our process? We're probably gonna need our blender. So let me get the blender out. Let's get the blender out. So for this, we're gonna use our Ninja blender. And I think we can just put everything in here and just blend it. I think that's what we're doing. Let me see. So we're going to take 100 grams of powdered sugar, 150 grams of green pistachios. I didn't realize that they could be a different color. I'm new to the pistachio land. 1 tablespoon of vanilla bean paste, a large pinch of sea salt flakes, and 100 grams of cold cream, which we have, thankfully, some heavy whipping cream. That should still be good. Let's take a whiff. It's getting a little thick, but it's still in there. Okay, so let's make some pistachio cream. Now we're going to take in a high speed blender, combine all ingredients. So yeah, so let's just combine everything in our blender. So we need, let's do our sugar first. So we need 100 grams of powdered sugar. I'm going to take 100 grams. Ooh, 95. And how are we doing today? Feel free to say hi in the chat. What is it? Today is Monday, the 20th of October. It's almost Halloween. Ugh, I just pinged the designer that's making my costume. I'm like, hello, where's my costume? I ordered it like a month ago. And I still need to put rhinestones on it. And it still needs to get here from Panama. Hello. They're like, oh, we're going to try our best to get it to you in time. Like, okay, Beach. You're lucky it's also going to be my outfit for this. Because if not, actually, no, I'm going to be wearing pink for this because I want to still play into the Glinda of it all. So for this, it's going to be pink. Okay, sorry, speaking out loud. 150 grams of pistachio. $143. 146, 48, 151. Boom. Large pinch of sea salt flakes. That's a large pinch. 1 tablespoon of vanilla bean paste. Vanilla bean paste. 1 tablespoon. That's about a tablespoon. And then we need 100 grams of our cream. Okay, 105. 105. That's fine. That's fine. A little extra cream ain't gonna hurt nobody. We can always add a few more little nuts if we have to. Okay? If you've watched me before, you know that I like to clean up as I go. So, sorry, as I clean up as I go. Okay, so now we have... Hi, Neil! So good to see you. Happy Monday. Oh my gosh, Neil, I was just editing earlier and I put in I was putting you in as one of the commercial breaks for this episode. I was like, oh, Neil. Okay, so it's gonna get loud for a second, but we're gonna blend our powdered sugar, our nuts, our sea salt, our vanilla bean paste, and our cold cream because we're making sweet pistachio paste. think we need to. I mean, I like to throw you in when it's a guest that is like a queer friendly guest that feels like, that's when I pull out the Neil ad, and that's when I pull out the Queers on Dice ad, and I put those in the rotation because it feels apropos to the guest. All right, this is a little chunkalicious, so we're gonna blend this up a little bit more. Let's see what this is looking like in here. Oh, okay. We're looking a little more creamy. Still a little, oh, here, let me show you. It's still a little crunchy. So I want it to be as smooth. Oh, it says 5 minutes until very fine and smooth. Until very fine and smooth, like me. Okay. So sorry, it's gonna be loud for a couple more minutes. Take a minute. The great thing about this Ninja is that we can pull out the blades and really get in there. So we're gonna scrape our sides. It smells really good. I'm liking the consistency just from the spatula. But I feel like it could be a tiny bit more smooth. So let's take this, get it back in there. And I don't think we need more cream. I think it just needs more time. Just more time. So we're gonna blend a tiny bit more. I'm gonna add like a touch of more cream, just because I want it to be pipeable. I want it to be able to come out of a piping bag. So let's do just a tiny bit more cream. This is when I wish I had a Vitamix. There's very rare times that I wish I had a Vitamix. Right now is one of them, because I know the Vitamix would do this in like no time. Okay, it smells great. I mean, the smell is there for sure. It's looking a lot more smooth. Just want it to be just a tiny bit more loose. So let's add one last touch of cream. One last bit of cream. Okay, sorry, it's gonna get loud again. I think we're there. So now, take one of our containers, take the plate out, make sure that we get all that yummy goodness. Scrape those blades. This is when the neurospicy tendencies come out because I want to get all of it off. Okay, now take what's in our blender, put it in our little keeper container. Oops. Tastes, ooh, delicious. Definitely worth making it from scratch. Okay, so we're going to take our pistachio puree, sweet paste, sweet pistachio paste. Okay. Okay. Great. Take the rest of this in here. It almost feels like pistachio ice cream. I've never had pistachio ice cream, actually. You know, I was never a pistachio girly up until this summer. I was in London for a work trip, and my mom met me to spend some time with me, and we went to go visit a little cafe that we found last year, that she found last year, that I fell in love with. And last year I had their Swedish cinnamon buns that they have, and I became obsessed with trying to recreate that recipe. So I spent months and months and months trying to recreate that recipe. And then I went this summer and I went to the cafe and I told them, and they pointed to the wall. And actually I have the flour now. They pointed to a very specific kind of flour that they use. So I ordered it and I have it in my pantry now for when I make the pistachio buns. That this time when we were there, my mom ordered, they have a pistachio raspberry bun that is out of this world. Amazing. And so after I came home this summer, I have been spending the last 6 months trying to recreate that recipe blindly, just from like a taste test and just trying to figure out the recipe. But yeah, that was my first foray into the world of pistachio. I was never a pistachio girly before this. I did not get it. I did not get the appeal. But now I get it. This shit is delicious. Okay. So we have made our fresh, from scratch pistachio, sweetened pistachio paste. I think her Instagram, I follow a few bakers, but I think the Manuela app, I think it's Passion for Baking. She's this like European, like from the Norway, Swedish type countries. Well, she could be German for all I know. But not like British. She has like a European accent. And she just shares the best recipes and the best tips and the best tricks. And you can just tell that she's been doing this for so long and she's so passionate about it. Hello, Passion for Baking. So we are using her recipe for this. So what I'm gonna do now is put this in the fridge. Pistachio paste. And today's date. Ta-da! Put it in the fridge. All right. And actually, I think what I'm gonna do is just wait till tomorrow till we're gonna actually make the cake to weigh out all the ingredients. Don't want to lay about a bunch of stuff and have a bunch of containers on the counter unnecessarily. So we're gonna save that for tomorrow. But a little preview for tomorrow. So tomorrow when the groceries get here, I ordered a Whole Foods order. So tomorrow we'll be able to make our cakes. So we're gonna make our pistachio cake using that pistachio paste that we just made. And we're gonna make a raspberry cake, and they're both gonna be cloud cakes. So like a spongy type cake with the raspberry puree that we're gonna make tomorrow when the raspberries get here in the groceries. And then tomorrow in the groceries, we're also getting the white chocolate chips, the high fat white chocolate chips that we need, and the high fat cream that we need for our ganache. And so we're going to be making pistachio ganache, and we're going to be making raspberry ganache, both with white chocolate. And the idea is that tomorrow we'll make the last of our components. We'll bake the cake and let it cool, slice it, and then let it cool, chill overnight in the fridge. Same for the ganache. We'll make the raspberry puree tomorrow. We'll make the pistachio ganache. We'll make the raspberry ganache, and then those have to sit in the fridge also. And then the plan is that on Wednesday, we will get all of our components that will be ready to assemble. And Wednesday, we will assemble a cake that will look somewhat like this. I've changed my mind a little bit about what the top is going to look like, and I'll probably change my mind again. But this is a rough idea, at least for flavor profile wise and rough assembly wise. This is the plan. So if you haven't hit subscribe, feel free to hit subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow to do some more baking and hanging out. And yeah, so the plan for this week, this is this week's project, is our Wicked Cloud Cake for the talent show that I will be in next month. I also have some other fun bakes in mind, some more future baking for my future boyfriend. We'll have another one of those episodes soon. We'll do some more high protein goodies. And let me see. I started editing today the latest episode of the podcast. So hopefully tomorrow I can get myself across the finish line and get it finished editing and posted. I have to, I still have to cut the intro clip and then cut it all together and then export it again and then upload it to YouTube. It's like a few more hours worth of work, but it'll get done. I still have to make the thumbnail. So still a few hours left of work for the podcast, but hopefully it'll come out tomorrow. And then, yeah, that's the plan for this week is the Wicked Cake. Maybe we'll try to do another baking for my future boyfriend. Podcast episode should come out. Oh, I still have a couple of Labubos I need to finish, so I should try to get those done. But yeah, that's the plan for this week. So feel free to hit subscribe if you haven't. Hi, I'm MeMeCherry. I'll be back for more baking content soon. And if not, feel free to hit, while you're waiting for me to come back, feel free to check out my podcast, Series of Fortunate Events. You can find it on this channel. You can also find it as Sophie, S-O-F-E, aka Series of Fortunate Events. And I'll be back tomorrow to continue working on the Wicked Cloud Cake. Till then, I'll see you soon. Okay? Bye.